What's up,
Hey,
folks?
we're the
Can't
ones
make this.
talking, not poor Yang Yang.
No, Yang
Got
Yang
a
Yang does not speak.
got an interesting one for you today.
And an invisible Steven.
Well,
Yeah.
I see a Sturge. Sturge
I mean, that's fair, yeah.
watching over us all.
Sturge in the flesh.
When I used my CO2 monitor, because I have a little like cheap one that I use around my apartment, because last smoke season where it was like a month long, I started to be like, should I be opening my windows just for like the CO2 issues, despite the
Mhm.
like particulate? So I got a CO2 monitor. Um, and so it was interesting, like as you said, like one room closed off for, throughout the thing. What surprised me the most was that my CO2 like went down precipitously, so the oxygen was going up. Um, when I had my like bathroom fan on, and I thought the
Mhm.
bathroom fan was just like kind of shitty, but apparently like there's enough sort of like holes in the walls that it was pulling in like air from everywhere to make the
Yeah.
CO2 better throughout the apartment. So I was like, go a little bathroom fan, and also like that's a lot of holes. Because if it was hermetically sealed, like obviously
Yeah.
whatever the bathroom fan was fanning, it wouldn't get outside low CO2, but apparently it was pulling it. So
The little fan that could. Yeah, probably for chat. We were talking about the CO2 monitors before we went live, because that's still a thing, and we still got to know what the air quality is in different areas and whatnot, especially planes.
Ma'am, I got travel booked today for something that I'm not supposed to announce until it's on a website, but anyway, I have to fly
Big
somewhere
booking.
that you cannot fly direct, and
Mm.
I realize this is what I am a prima donna about. I hate stopovers. I hate layovers. And I have to go to have a 3.5 hour layover on the way there, which is in
Jeez.
Denver, which is at least an airport I know,
but then you can find out about all the weird conspiracy theories about the Denver International Airport.
I've seen it. Lucifer and I are old friends.
Yay! I love Lucifer.
It is the weirdest statue, and the story of how it murdered its creator
It killed him.
Wild.
I
But
did
yeah,
a
I
whole
don't know.
podcast episode on
Did you
that
really?
airport.
Okay,
Yes,
cool.
it is it is one of the most wild things that the internet has done, and I love it.
It's so weird.
I feel so prosaic, like, because I went to Denver and like back when Google worked, I was confused about what snow fences were. So like I went on Google and I was like, fences in fields, Denver airport, and like it was like snow fences. I was like, Google, how did you do that?
I remember making a similar thing the first time I was
Pacific Northwest, like snow fences, what are, never have seen. So confused because they're not fencing anything in. They're just like randomly across the landscape.
And there's gaps between them. It's like, what is happening here? So there's been a question of Cassius 335 wants to know what happened with. So outside the Denver International Airport, there is a giant statue of a rearing blue stallion that has glowing red eyes. I want to be clear.
They actually light up. It's not just that they're bright red. No. They actually light up.
So it's already kind of intense looking, right? The artist, while he was finishing this, part of it fell off, cut the femoral artery in his leg, and he bled out.
Yep.
Yeah. So it is a scary demonic horse that did actually kill its artist. And if you've ever seen this, you will ask yourself, who commissioned this thing? Because it's not friendly. It is definitely an aggressive, scary blue horse.
It's
just wild.
It's also like, it's not the only weird statue they've ever had in front of the airport. Because on top of that, at one point, an exhibit was coming through Denver, and the Denver International Airport, continuing its string of weird decisions, was like, you know what? We should advertise that this museum exhibit is here. we're going to put a 30-foot tall statue of Anubis, god of the dead, in front of an airport. So you're
That's who I want
greeted
shepherding me. A
by the
psychopomp,
devil
a
horse.
literal psychopomp taking me into the afterlife through the airport. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's go.
There was, by the way, there was no signage saying visit the exhibit.
Oh,
Just Anubis.
yeah.
Just Anubis.
Just get you in the mood.
Yeah, you
That's
know.
wild.
Anyone feel like flying and dying today?
Lucifer takes you out. Anubis takes you on. And they have the weird murals that look like celebrations of nuclear war or something.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
very-
no, yep.
It's
yep.
like they're not. There's like all this like New World Order stuff supposedly hitting in them. It's not. It's sort of just
It's just weird
just a
decisions.
They're just weird murals to have in the airport, right? They're interesting artistically, but yeah, you look up and you're like, oh look, children in gas masks.
Yep.
Yeah, airport. Well,
All
airport art is its own thing. The funny statue story from Western Washington University, where I did my undergrad, nobody died. But there's in front of one of the buildings, there's this big, like, I don't know, probably 20, 30 foot tall, sort of like 3 different tripod kind of like steel I-beam looking kind of thing, but it's bright orange. And apparently the story is that it wasn't originally orange, that the artist, his vision was that there was a big sort of like pendulum in the center that hung from the sort of tripod, and that it would like swing back and forth with, you know, sort of like normal stuff. And it's on a college campus. What had happened, people wrote it, like they would climb up and like ride back and forth on this pendulum. So the university administration said no, because safety risk. So they took out the pendulum part of it.
Oh, no.
And supposedly the artist was so mad that like it was no longer his vision, that he showed up sort of like in the dark of night, and he was the one who like painted it bright orange, because like if it was not going to be his vision, it had to be like completely different.
I mean, that's fair. That is fair.
I can imagine being that pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give myself a small plug here. If you want to hear that episode that I did, look up the Other Side of Suspicion podcast. Yeah, that was what it was called. It was a while ago, but that was a fun episode. Anybody got any other weird airports?
Well, I am deeply frustrated. I am going to Kansas City for World Fantasy Convention after I've moved, so I will be living in Portland. And the like airlines were like, hopefully you can have one layover. I'm like, all right, no nonstop, it's fine. In Seattle, I'm like, oh my god.
I wonder if we're on the same flight. Are you happening to fly Alaska?
No, I'm on Delta because I had a credit,
Oh, okay.
So, but
That is my Alaska is the one I have the credit card for.
We should see if we can share transportation though.
Yeah.
I'll make a mental note in my like overflowing list of like mental notes.
Man, same.
I still have not done any flying since the panini, and I still don't know when I will ever be up for that. I'll probably have to at some point, you know. Something will force me into it, so
Yeah,
I'll be fine.
yeah. I figure like I'm not like super duper worried, because I've gone to like in-person conventions before and done the like masking thing. And...
Well, it's funny, like it's the masking thing. Like I'm just used to that now. Like I'm not as worried about that. It's now just like, man, I really do hate going through the TSA check and all that stuff. Like that's just so annoying. I got to get there like 2 hours early.
You might not fly enough to make this worth it, but we got pre-check, and I'm never going back.
Yeah,
never.
Pre-check.
Yeah, especially Seattle has really atrocious security lines, and not like constantly, just randomly. It will be the worst you've ever seen. It will like wrap the whole freaking like terminal. And when you just get to go up and get in the pre-check line, you don't take your shoes off, and you don't have to like declare all of your things that might be liquid and open up your laptop. You might get like randomly selected to get your hands swabbed, but Like, it's very nice.
Hmm.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, they also have that spot saver thing. But we got you basically, it's like fast pass for the airport, like Yang Yang said.
Okay, but I watched a 2-hour video essay on YouTube about how fast pass is a scam. So
I love that video. That video is
so...
the best, man. I tried to show it to my parents and they got like super bored.
My wife and I have watched it twice. I actually watched an interview with that guy from Defunctland and Adam Conover yesterday, and it was
the Wiggles.
Absolute. The Wiggles was so good.
I hadn't heard of them before.
Oh, really?
Video either? No, they're Australian. Like,
well,
why?
like I was like in middle school when that became big. So like
they were very big for kids before I had kids.
Like,
so in that sort of like awkward ground.
I remember being in a KB Toys because they were selling Gundams, and that was my anime focus. And I just hear this fruit salad. I'm like, what in the heck is this? But yeah, the Defunctland, great videos.
Have you watched the Finding the Disney bumper tune?
Yes, that was fascinating.
That's my very favorite because it's just the detectiving.
Yeah,
it's like to my heart, because it's all about like archives and like hidden knowledge. And H-Bomber Guy's Roblox Oof video was a similar one. It came out, it was sort of one of those sort of like serendipities come out at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was also sort of like finding out what has been somewhat unrecorded, and kind of like recording it.
Yeah It's good stuff.
Bookish Barbarian points out that one time they flew out of Baltimore and there were major delays. There was a giant crab statue that they hung out near.
What? Oh,
feels very on brand for them.
Yeah, I've not been to Baltimore Airport, but now I want to see this giant crab statue. You know what? The power of the internet exists.
There you go.
Well, I made the crabs are getting into my brain because I was looking at something and I made a little note about like check about cabs or something like that, and then I saw it crabs, and I was like, what possessed you to make a note about crabs?
They're delicious.
Oh, apparently there's crab statues all over Baltimore.
I mean,
like they're all the same shape, but they have different patterns and colors.
Oh yeah, they'll there's various animals, like they had salmon in one of the like Puget Sound ones, I think, because Issaquah had one. I don't know what other places had one, but they like make these big statues and then they hand them around, and then everybody can do them their own way. I do really appreciate though that they're very much in the pose of crab people. Crab. But they do have like normal looking feet, and that's unsettling. I'm gonna click away from that now. Well, you should
like human feet, or
like they got like crab legs, but then there's two very like thick legs with round feet at the bottom that they're standing on. I'm like, oh, because of structural integrity. Yeah. Gotcha. I know why, but it looks unsettling. Well, you should look up the art for somebody on Twitter was doing PlayStations, but they're like crab with little like crab controllers, and it's very cute. They're the PlayStation like crustacean. Oh my god! So you have to say it in the voice too. I didn't do it. It's like PlayStation. I noticed they stopped that for a while and then they brought it back, and I'm like, yes, marketing works. Oh yeah, the Crab Champions game is bringing everything up when I look up PlayStation Crab. Well, I'll drop a link in the chat if I can find it. Oh, and a reminder that Deadliest Catch the game was on PlayStation.
Okay, that's wild.
That's a thing people spend time on. Oh boy. Yeah?
Yeah, just that.
Yeah?
This revision is kicking my butt, and I had to, plan for a game in the middle of it.
What? You plan these things?
Ish. Not gonna lie, it's not my most, I don't know. I still remember when you guys did the Argent Palace, I wrote down 3 things you might fight if you tried to go inside, and 2 ways that I was sure you could get out. And then I practiced that hag's voice, and that was it. So that went okay. I don't know. I sounded to be super duper prepared.
To be fair, I thought that like I didn't do a lot of prep. And then I showed my DM, because, you know, the campaign's over now. What the hell do I care? I showed my campaign notes to my home group, and they went, "Oh my God, you could sell these. They're like ready to go." And I'm like, I'm no.
Yeah, the DM I like played with the most was my friend Susan, and she had like a binder like this. Like she's got everything. That's how she does it. She just imagines every possible permutation and figures out what happens and writes it down. So she's ready. So I started out trying to do that and realized that it makes everything take a lot longer, because then I'm like, look at all these things you could do. And then you do them all, which is great, but also kind of a problem too. So I'm kind of trying to hit the middle between like, I don't know what you guys want to do. I'll just make some shit up. Especially, but it is good to stay flexible when you have people who are like, no, I want to go to a sex club, not that sex club. And I have to make up an emotionally powerful moment on the spot. I think that worked.
Oh, Yenge was pointing to who? I thought he had a question.
Don't blame it all on Steven. You definitely facilitated. No, it was good. It was fun.
Oh boy, yeah. Like,
but that is the kind of thing when you like get really, really planned up, and then you have players who like to be like, "But what about this?" It's easy to get kind of.
Literally last night in my home game, I'm a player now. This is the year of Trevor being a D&D player, not a DM. But the rest of the party suggested this plan. I went, yeah, I don't know. That sounds like something the DM didn't have plans for and would add a lot onto their plate for next week. So maybe we don't.
Oh, you're a mensch.
Yeah, there was I was doing a in grad school a game at the comic book store because I didn't know anybody in town yet. And there was one point where like it was a old school dungeon crawl, and we had the big dungeon map, and somebody's like, well, we can't turn down there. God hasn't drawn it yet.
I had one like that one time where I was like, oh, well, we can't go that way. Why? I'm like, because that's the edge of the map that we're drawing on.
Like, weirdly, it loops to the other side.
Yeah.
Strange feature of geography. There's just a bunch of dwarves there with a sign, like, we're working here.
The first time my wife DM'd, she got very into like drawing out the map ahead of time on like the like dry erase mat that we had, and she like sat down on the floor with the book and like painstakingly went through and did it, and then realized that at one point she was off by a square and she just crumpled. She was just like, no.
This is my experience trying to cross stitch.
I was just thinking like cross stitching. I haven't done it with my current one, but there's one that actually is framed on my wall over here that there's a kind of squishy bit in the middle where I was like, I am not going to bother to fix it.
That seems to be the necessary place to embrace. And maybe it is with maps too.
Oh, I told her, I'm like, here's the great thing. No one's going to know because they're not going to see that other map. So we're all good.
Oh.
It didn't change. Like, like she didn't tell the players, but I could see like when we were playing in the session, she just kept looking at this one part of the map and shaking her head. Oh boy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just I'm making noises because I'm stressed. That's
fair.
Just what I do.
Stress noises.
Grumbly little stress noises.
That's what we do. Oh God, everything is happening on Steven's
We're having a moment. You're having another religious experience.
Where were you on the night of the 23rd?
Sorry about that.
I
Just,
asked. Okay, I'm gonna meta this for a moment. I
Okay.
asked a question in our Discord channel for this game, and 2 of you read the question, but 2 of you did not respond to the question.
What was the question?
You were one of the people that read the question, so you're okay.
Yes, I was literally telling Rhiannon
There
before.
we go. I pasted it in again. You don't have to read all the back and forth.
I was telling Rhiannon before this, I was like, it seems like every time I go to check our channel to see if anything's going on, nothing happens, and then I check before the game, and I've missed everything. I did read this question, and my answer is whatever works best for the story. So I'm fine with whatever.
Actually, Steven, I think you just talked about it without actually answering the question.
Do we want to read it on
Actually, it doesn't matter. I'm realizing it doesn't matter. This is not spoilery. At the end of the last session, Lorcan agreed to take you to the Xanathar.
Yeah.
You guys had previously paid for rooms at the Yawning Portal, and my intention was that Lorcan's like, let's go right now. But I realized when I went back and watched it, it was not clear. So I'm like, do you guys want to sleep at the Yawning Portal? Or go with Lorcan and potentially ask to use Xanathar's guest room.
In the words of the message Rhiannon sent earlier, let me check my spell slots. I
think
I'm all good.
Yeah, I think we did rest.
Yeah.
After the last battle where we thrown them around.
Okay. So this was a narrative sleep, not a mechanical sleep.
Yeah.
A narrative sleep.
Would you narratively feel better if your characters got a good night's rest before they went to have to do intense things? Or shall we just go? It sounds like we should just go.
Yeah. I mean, I'm feeling a bird in the hand.
Dang it. Rubba says, split the difference, sleep with Lorcan at the Yawning Portal. Oh boy, fanfics come to life tonight.
I actually I did have a conversation privately with Aaron about the fact that Artemisia has changed enough that she's not interested in Lorcan. It's pretty bad boy thing. If she had seen him with the true sight, not the rando human dude.
Rando human dude.
Then that he might have charmed her, but nope, no more.
He hasn't tried yet.
Well, there is that. But it's still progress because so often she throws herself or threw herself at
confident looking dude, tight armor.
Yeah,
it's always a bad choice. Nothing.
Not necessarily.
No, that's not. That's true. That's true. Only if you're
in the novella that's on Discord. Hey, chat, there's a novella on Discord.
Oh, sounds like there's a novella on Discord.
You mean a novella about Discord?
Oh, that sounds like a nightmare scheme.
Oh my god, I'm so tired already just thinking about reading that.
Yep. Nope.
Yeah.
No, it's a novella about Artemisia making good romantic choices.
Oh, wow. So
the level of surprise in that statement.
So in this novella, in character, Artemisia is I don't want to tell my friends, they'll just mock me. And you're proving her right.
Well, good for her.
Well, oh, you okay, Yang Yang? Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, they're kind of at a baseline.
I want everybody to know that I gave Yang Yang many opportunities to say, I am not well enough to do this, and go to bed.
Chugs Coke.
This is his decision.
You are a saint.
I try.
No, I was talking to Yang Yang. Sorry.
Oh, good, because I'm about to murder you in this episode.
Oh, there we are at our 5-2.
So. Yep.
Okie doke. Well, join us in 5 minutes and let's see what happens.